Next up on WTV, Chromebooks for freshmen, the drop window opening, and today's Sports Minute. WTV's daily update starts now. Hey there, Red Hawk Nation. Today is Friday, September 18th, and I'm TJ Crows with today's daily update, brought to you by Wingspan TV. This year, freshmen will be given Chromebooks to use in class and at home. WTV's Advik Dixit has the story.
This year, Frisco ISD launched its one-to-one initiative in which all freshmen get their own Chromebook to use for their high school career. The program will continue on with each new freshman class. Soon, all grade levels on campus will have a Frisco ISD issued device.
This was actually done before, obviously, the COVID hit. So this was not directly tied to COVID, but I think it's helping during this time. But again, so the idea is just when 2024 comes around, 23, this year's freshmen will be seniors. At that point, all 4 grades here at Liberty will have a computer with them, every student on campus. We're not doing Chromebook cards in classes where teachers can reserve Chromebook cards to have and share with their kids, but we're actually using those this year, and any student who needs a Chromebook that does not have one that they can use from home.
In years, past teachers could check out a cart full of Chromebooks for occasional classroom use. But now that all freshmen have their own device, teachers are learning how to adjust to daily technology use.
Progress, there's a lot of learning curve associated with transitioning the way we learn. Like even just the way you read a sentence on a screen versus a paper is different. Like how you turn things in is very different. So everything is fundamentally changed. So there's a learning curve for me and learning curve for the students. So I guess in terms of teaching style, I try to do less of just teacher-centered instructions where I'm just talking to the entire class. I try to do things where take advantage of the Chromebook. They have access to professors and experts who can actually visually see things with their own 2 eyes through their Chromebook.
For freshmen such as Trevor Newton, the Chromebooks are an especially useful tool right now.
Well, it's really nice for everyone to get a Chromebook this year because I know a lot of people who didn't have devices to do school on, and since some people are doing virtual, they need those Chromebooks to join Zoom meetings and do all the work. And even if you are in school, we haven't been doing much stuff with paper, so it's really nice to have that Chromebook and then just get a second type of learning in using all the stuff on the Chromebook.
It's also helping some freshmen stay more organized.
They've been effective for me because I now have my own personal laptop for school. And I have all the stuff that I need for school because all my schoolwork is going to be on that laptop and not on my personal one. So it's much more organized and easier for me.
Reporting for WTV, I'm Advik Dixit.
The window to drop and change classes is open. WTV's Kirti Gumati has the details.
Starting today, students can drop their AP or pre-AP classes. The drop form can be found on the Counselor's Corner website, but there will be no paper copies available this year. Students have until 4:30 on Thursday next week to complete the form. For students unsure whether or not they should drop a class, AP English teacher Casey Smith has some advice.
The biggest thing is how much work they really are willing to put into the class itself, as far as if they really want to drop it or not. I think that's really important. I think that it's really important also to talk to the teacher before dropping the class, to get insight on what the teacher really thinks. I think that teachers will really be honest. And I also think that it's important for students to kind of be honest with themselves and with the teacher too. I know that sometimes students in the past, when I've had conversations with them, that it's been a lot of, is it a time thing? Is it a want kind of thing? Because I think that especially the idea of taking a lot of AP classes sounds like it's a good idea, and then kind of the experience of it is a totally different thing. So I think that it's really important to have those conversations with the teacher before you decide to make that switch one way or the other, just so that everybody's kind of on the same page, because I think that teachers really, really do want the kids to be successful, but I think that we also really want you guys to make the best decisions for you and for your mental health. Because I know that you guys are super focused on your GPAs, but we also kind of see that all the other factors that are kind of really out there.
Schedules will be updated by the end of the day on September 25th, and new schedules will go into effect on September 28th. Reporting for WTV, I'm Kirti Gamadi.
On this week's edition of Real Talk, WTV's Madigan Gunya asked students about college.
Hey Redhawks, it's Madigan Gunya with this week's edition of Real Talk. This week we're hitting the halls to ask students about college. Are you planning on going to college?
I do plan on going to college.
Yes, I do plan on going to college.
What college are you planning on going to?
Most likely LSU. It's just like where I was born and raised.
My two top choices right now would have to be Howard and Purdue.
Does the college your parents attended affect your decision?
Where my parents went, it doesn't really affect me. Because I look up to them. I see them as obviously the biggest role models in my life, but where they went wasn't super prestigious or anything like that.
My parents' college does not play a big role into what college I would go to. They only care that I would go to a school that has a good education.
Would you rather go out of state or stay in Texas?
I'd probably choose out of state. Obviously if I'm going to go to LSU, I have to get out of the state, but also a change of scenery I think is probably good for me. Just living in Texas my whole life.
I would prefer to go out of state for college.
Do you think college is important?
I don't think college is that important. I feel like everyone wants you to believe it is, but at the end of the day, a piece of paper doesn't really define you. And sure, it might get you a position or two, but there are a lot of skills that college just can't provide that will make you way happier and way more money or whatever you want. There's easier ways to attain it than super high student debt or whatever.
I think that having a college degree sets you up for the career path that you would want to go into later in life. So I do think that it is very important.
Reporting for WTV, this is Madigan Gunya.
Here's a preview of volleyball and cross country on today's Sports Minute. This weekend is packed with Redhawk sports, and it all starts with volleyball tonight. The team is battling against Bishop Lynch and are trying to get its first win of the season right before they start district play. The Redhawks are coming off a 3-1 loss to Weatherford Tuesday and have a 0-1 record on the season.
My expectations for this season are to be in the top 3 of our district, to make playoffs, and to beat Wakeland. I would say that our biggest strength is that we have good team chemistry and that we have a lot of good players in each different position.
The game takes place at 5:45 at the Nest. Volleyball will also play 2 games Saturday early in the morning versus McKinney North and McKinney Boyd at 10 and 11:30 a.m., with both games at McKinney North. Also in action, football kicks off with a scrimmage against Royce City tonight, with the season starting next week. The Redhawks are hoping to improve on last year's 1-9 record with new QB sophomore Keldrick Luster and 5-star recruit wide receiver Evan Stewart leading the offense. The game kicks off in Royce City at 6. And finally, cross country runs at the North Texas Circuit. The team is coming off a good outcome last week, with the girls finishing 4th overall and the boys finishing 2nd overall last Saturday. The team will look to stay hot this Saturday at 7:30 at Warren Sports Complex. Reporting for WTV, this is TJ Kurlowitz. If you're looking for more from Wingspan, you can follow us at Liberty Wingspan on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our award-winning website, libertywingspan.com. And now for today's announcements. For any announcements, have your club sponsor email libertywingspanstaff@gmail.com. That's it for today's daily update. This is TJ Kurlowitz for Wingspan TV.